In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to install the customized version of Kali Linux on Apple M1 computers. If you want to install it on Windows or the normal Apple computers, then check out the previous lectures. I will cover how to install it on Linux in the next lecture, so only follow this lecture if you have an Apple M1 computer. To check if you have an M1 chip, go to the Apple About This Mac and it should say M1 in here. If you don't have an M1 chip, then follow the instructions in the previous lecture. Now, I showed you previously where to download the custom Kali image from our download page in Z-Security. If you have an M1 computer, you want to make sure that you download the M1 version, not this version. So all computers should download this version, but if you have an M1 Apple computer, then you should download it from these links in here. Once you have it downloaded, you're going to have a 7Z file similar to this one right here. It's actually a compressed archive and the image is contained inside it. We did this to reduce the download size so you can download the file quicker, but we're actually interested in the file that is inside this archive. To uncompress this archive, all you're going to have to do is simply double click the file. But I'm not going to do it now because you're going to have to first install a virtualization software that will allow you to run Kali Linux as a virtual machine. Now, usually there is a lot of free options, but because you have an Apple M1 computer, you're very limited. You only have one option, which is not free. It's paid software. It's called Parallels. Now, you can get a trial for this from this link right here, so you can download it. I will include this link in the resources of this lecture. All you have to do is simply click on download and you'll have it right here to install. You can also download it from the App Store if you want. All you have to do is just launch the App Store and look for Parallels Desktop. But I already have it downloaded in here, so to install it, I'm just gonna double click it. The installation is very simple. We're going to double click the installer in here and wait for a second for it to load. I'm going to put my password. Now, I've already installed the software before recording this video, therefore I didn't get any prompts, but if you're installing it for the first time, you're going to get a number of notifications and prompts asking you to give permissions to this program. So make sure you accept them all and allow it to access your disk and so on. Very simple. You just have to accept everything, similar to installing any software, and then you're going to end up with a screen very similar to this one right here. Now, I'm actually going to close it because I want to show you how you would use it normally if you didn't just install it. So you can also note that you have a new icon in here in the status bar for Parallels. So I'm just going to click it and quit it as well because I just want to show you how to run it in a normal scenario if you just started your Mac. So to run it, all you have to do is simply click on all applications in here. We're going to scroll, or you can just use the search to search for it. And as you can see right here, we have Parallels Desktop. I'm going to click it and it will start the application for me. So now you can simply click on continue and start any of the ready computers that they have that you could download from their own repository. But we don't want to do that. We want to install the custom Kali. So I'm going to close this and we're going to uncompress this image that we downloaded previously. As I said, you want to make sure you download the M1 image. You can see in here, it says Kali 2021 M1, meaning it's the one for the M1 computers. So all you have to do now is double click this to uncompress it. And it might actually take some time because as you can see, the archive size in here is 2.9 gigabytes and the result image file will be over 10 gigabytes. So you want to just give it its time to uncompress the file and give you the Kali image. Perfect. Now, as you can see, we have a new file of size 13 gigabytes, and that is the virtual image of the custom Kali. Since we already installed Parallels Desktop, we can simply double click this to run it within Parallels. Now, because I'm running the trial, I'm getting this warning in here. I'm just going to click on continue trial to continue, and we're going to hit enter to start it. Now, you'll actually get 14 days trial if you download it from the website. Then if it expires, you can actually remove it and then download it from the App Store and you will get another 14 days. Now, to log in, the username is root, R-O-O-T, and the password is T-O-O-R. We're going to hit enter. And perfect. As you can see, it started here for us. Now, the first time you started, you're going to see this prompt right here. This is going to install extensions to better integrate the virtual machine with your host machine. This only happens once, the first time that you run a virtual machine. So just give it some time, don't do anything. And once it's done, we're going to click on restart to restart the computer with the changes we made. Again, we're going to log in as root, and the password is TOOR, the reverse of that. And perfect. Now we are inside Kali Linux, and it is running as a virtual machine inside our Mac computer right here. Now, don't get intimidated by the looks of this operating system. I will teach you how to use it step by step, and we'll cover it throughout the course. So using it is going to become very easy. For now, I just wanted to show you how to install it as a virtual machine inside Apple M1 computers. Now, I have it running in full screen, so it's easy for you to see. But if you want to exit the full screen, all you have to do is move the mouse all the way to the top. You'll see this drop-down menu comes up, and all you have to do is click the green button to exit the full screen. If you click it again, you'll enter full screen again. To turn off this operating system, just click on the top right icon, click on power off, and click on power off, and power off one more time. And that's it, it's off. To start it again, you're going to click on the parallels icon on the top in here, go to the control center, and as you can see in here, we have Kali Linux installed as a virtual machine, so you won't need to double click this file again. So to start it, you'll just need to go to this icon, click on the control center, and then click the play button in here. You can also click the cog in here to enter the settings of this virtual machine to modify its settings. For example, you can modify the amount of processors and memory that this virtual machine can use. 2 processors and 2 gigs of memory are good, so I'm not going to modify that. But what I want to actually modify is the network. And instead of a shared network, I'm going to set it to use a bridge network. And I'm going to select the default adapter. I'm doing this because this setting allows the Kali machine to use the default interface that the host machine, that this computer uses to access the internet. Therefore, this way you'll be able to communicate with other computers within the network that the host computer, this Mac computer, is connected to, and try to hack them and test the attacks that we're gonna learn throughout the course. See, previously I said we're gonna install virtual machines within our current operating system so that we can use the Kali machine to hack into the Windows and the Linux machine, and we're gonna do this all within the current operating system. That's still the case for all computers and all operating systems except for the Apple M1 computer, because currently Windows and the target Linux machine cannot run on the Apple M1 chip. So that's another limitation to the chip that is used within your computer that only the M1 Macs use. This chip is still very new, and therefore its support is very limited. That's why we can only install Kali Linux on it, and you're gonna have to test the attacks against real computers connected to the same network as the host machine, or install the target Windows and Linux machines as virtual machines, but on another computer that does not use the M1 chip, and set its network settings to bridged as well. Installing Windows and Metasploitable as virtual machines on other computers will be covered later on in the course when you need it, so you do not need to worry about this for now.